Welcome to this week's rant from the end of the garden on the garden swing. Why am I doing it here? Because it's just too damn hot to film this in the goldfish bowl or film this in the workshop. So I'm at the end of the garden, it's the end of the day, the sun's going down, which is why I'm lit from that side. But hey ho. Anyway, this video is entitled Behringer, the company that keeps on giving. And we'll come back to that in a minute. But right now, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about interesting YouTube activity. Now, as you guys know, I've been filming quite a lot. I'm way ahead. I'm actually publishing stuff now into September. This being mid-July. So I'm actually quite well ahead in terms of video recording. So what I've been doing is effectively been putting videos up and onto YouTube. My workflow is to get them onto YouTube, and then I schedule when they drop into the release schedule effectively. But I got a dislike on a video the other day. I thought, that's interesting. Now, getting dislikes is nothing new on YouTube. You expect it. You publish yourself onto the YouTube community. You expect some people will give you a dislike. That's just what it is. People will give you a dislike for no apparent reason apart from giving you a dislike. That's kind of what they do. Can't do anything about it. You just have to live with it. It's the game, if you like. However, because I've been doing this finishing video publishing over the last few days, I've been putting videos up, and when I schedule the videos to go live, obviously they then show up on YouTube. It's a process that I followed for probably a couple of years now, the same sort of process. I schedule them. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can see all the videos that are scheduled to go live, and you can see when they are actually scheduled to go live. But that's what I do, that's how it works. Now, to my surprise, I got a dislike on a video that hasn't even gone live. So how can somebody give you a dislike on a video that actually hasn't gone live? It's sitting there, you can't access it, I'm the only one who can access it, but I got a dislike. How does that work? And then I got another dislike on another video that hasn't even gone live yet. I'm flabbergasted that somebody has actually had the time to sit and dislike videos that haven't gone live yet. Or are they in the future? Is this some sort of Back to the Future thing going on? Has someone invented the flux capacitor? But I'm absolutely flabbergasted, and it just proves my theory, really, that YouTubers will dislike anything for the sheer hell of disliking it. Okay, this is the part of the video we do the channel promotion. You know the score. If you want to whiz through this piece, please do, but it's quite important that we actually do cover the channel promotion. So, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you love videos about vintage, legacy, synthesizers, drum machines, samplers, or even modern modern synthesizers, drum machines and samplers, hit the subscribe icon. And at the same time, you might as well hit the bell icon as well. Please, please, please do leave comments down below of this video. I love your comments. I read them, I digest them, I respond to them, and sometimes you guys even give me the ideas for future videos. Also down there you'll find the Instagram and Facebook feeds. Please carry on DMing me on those platforms. Follow me over there, you get the normal channel shenanigans. And finally down there, the most important thing, for less than the price of a cup of coffee, you can support this channel and keep it rocking and rolling. So, back to this particular video. Okay, back to that statement I made at the head of the video about Behringer is the company that just keeps on giving. Now, why have I said that? Well, I think it's pretty obvious what's been going on in the whole Behringer camp over recent weeks and months. But recently, in the last week, they published two posts to social media. And these two posts got me thinking, is there more to the statement they made on a recent social media post? There's more to come. Is there another legendary synth under development? And how are they hinting at what this synth is? What I'm talking about is a synth that only had 140 examples made. It currently changes hands for in excess of $15,000 a pop. So I'll come on to what the synth is in a sec. So if we go back to 2018, in 2018, Behringer published a series of videos about a job lot of instruments that they purchased. Now these instruments were purchased from the band Tears for Fears, legendary band Tears for Fears, I might add. And these were the instruments that this band used in the sort of 80s and 90s when they were making some of their pivotal work. So we're thinking about things like Sowing the Seeds and Songs from the Big Chair. These were the instruments that were used. Now, one of the videos, or one of the series of videos that they published, were relating to the LINN Drum. In actual fact, they purchased 2 LINN drums, and if you watch the video, you'll see them opening up a box with Tears for Fears written on the LINN Drum in some sort of chalk, and the word spare. In fact, Tears for Fears had 2 of them. Okay, and we know that they used the LINN Drum in some of those iconic songs on the Songs from the Big Chair, especially Shout and Everybody Wants to Rule the World. The rhythm patterns on those records definitely did come off the LINN Drum. There was some proper acoustic drum kit in there, but majority of those rhythms did come off this particular machine. And they were taking the machine to pieces and they were testing it, and they also opened a box of EPROMs up, and those EPROMs were some of the samples that Tears for Fears used on specific records. Now, we also know that Behringer have stripped those machines down, they have repaired them, they have brought them back to rude health, and almost certainly those machines were used as the basis of what we now know to be the lMDrum that Behringer have said has just completed user interface testing, and they posted that on their social media within the last month. So it's fairly safe to say that this job lot was bought with a purpose, not only to restore the instruments back to their former glory, but also bought to see if they could reverse engineer and use those instruments as the basis of new instruments that they may bring to market in the future. So that was the LINN Drum. The other thing Behringer has said, or have said about the LINN Drum, or the EPROMs, is that the EPROMs from this particular purchase will form part of the drum kit that is released on the lMDrum when it eventually hits the market. So watch this space on the lMDrum. So Behringer have reverse engineered the LINN Drum. What else was on this video? What other videos have they been promoting on their social media feed from this 218 instrument haul, if you want to give it that word? Well, we know that LINN Drum, a good example of a LINN Drum now, will probably change hands for in excess of $3,000, maybe near $4,000. So it's not $15,000 that I came up with earlier on. Plus the fact that with the LINN Drum there were more than 140 units manufactured. So what synthesizer am I talking about when I talk about a synthesizer that only had 140 units? You have to kind of think to yourself, it's not the M1 because they ship thousands of those. It's not the T's. It's not the Yamaha CS80. It's not a DX7. In fact, I mean, DX7 wouldn't change hands for $15,000 anyway. The synth I'm referring to is the DX1. So in the DX range there was the 5, which was in essence 2 DX7s, and then there was the daddy, the DX1. And they only made 140 units of the DX1, probably because at the time it was released it was so expensive that only a few elite musicians could afford to purchase it. But it was seen to be a staggering FM synth. In the videos that have been released by Behringer, they show the restoration of the DX1. So given what's happened with the LINN Drum, Do we suspect that there may be a version of the DX1 currently in the Behringer skunk works? I think it probably is very, very likely. And probably one of the synths they are hinting at bringing back to life could be a BX1 or an unexploded UX1. By the way, the unexploded bit is a TV show that used to be in England when I was growing up called Danger UXB. UX being URI Experimental Behringer. Of course, I jest. But seriously, could one of these we haven't finished yet synthesizers be a DX1? We know they're retro-engineering the CS80. We know they're retro-engineering a PPG Wave. We know they've retro-engineered the OBXA. We know they've retro-engineered the LINN Drum. We know they've retro-engineered the 808, the 909. The Deep Wave the Deep Mind, should I say, is effectively a Juno. What else are they retro-engineering? What else are they bringing back to the market that the modern synthesizer nut might want to buy? I mean, there's a lot there. You've got to be honest. I mean, they are legendary synths. All the synths I've mentioned and drum machines I've mentioned have appeared on countless rock and pop hits over the years. So, is it a DX1? Or might it be a Prophet 5? And I say that because in that hall of instruments, and on the Behringer sequence of videos, there is the restoration of an original Prophet 5. So, do we think they are retro-engineering a sequential Prophet 5? That might be a very interesting one actually, because obviously sequential is now back up and running, and they are manufacturing Prophet 5s and the desktop version of the Prophet 5 and the Prophet 10 and the desktop version of the Prophet 10. So might they be going for something like that? Well, they've done the Pro 1, so it's very possible that a Prophet 5 could be looking to rear its head. I really don't know, but I think we've got more to come. And I do think that Behringer may be ready or gearing up to release the huge FM synth, which will really be music to the ears of the FM synth junkie. And on that message and note, I will say, live long and prosper. And from the end of the garden, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.